Hello, ladies and gents. Hagbard Celine here on another beautiful afternoon, and today we will be discussing a new word. And it's one of those joyous new words where all you do is tack the word man onto an already existent behavior, and then decide that it's only men that do it, or it's only men that do it to that extreme, and decide that you need to talk about how men need to stop. And at this point, it's literally men should stop talking.
Men, please stop man-threading.
Now, threading is the act of replying to oneself on Twitter. Considering this a sexed act is amazing, really. I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, I have seen at least as many women do this as men. And Alana Hope Levinson certainly gives us many and a great example. On offer, we have Eric Garland, Ajit Heer, and Josh Marshall. And I think we can say with a fair amount of confidence that with this particular article, we've reached peak entitlement. I don't think we can be shocked by this, considering it's being hosted on Gizmodo, which is also home to Kotaku, Jezebel, and Lifehacker. So we know that, with an association to such noble offerings as Jezebel, we're not going to get any political bias or leanings in this, so we're good. And just to make a point, am I or am I not correct in believing that Gizmodo was supposed to be a magazine about, technology and tech and software and things like that, not some blog for someone to complain about man-threading, a thought she probably had thinking about man-spreading?
There is this thing that people, mostly men, love to do on Twitter. Something other than harass women and send DMs of their half-chubs. It's called threading, and it's one of the many things ruining my Twitter experience.
Lady, no one gives a shit, and no one should be forced to give a shit. If you're following accounts that thread, that's your problem. Unfollow them if it annoys you that much. It's really that simple.
Threading happens when someone has a lot of thoughts or feelings on a particular topic, so many that they can't fit them into 140 characters. So, ostensibly to help readers follow along on their train of thought, they thread the tweets together by replying to themselves. Sometimes they even use numbers.
The way you wrote that was like you're trying to be dismissive, but in reality it reads like, as a lady, you struggle with numbers.
Yesterday, a man named Eric Garland, a strategic analyst for business and government agencies with around 30,000 followers, decided it was time for some game theory, without consultation from the rest of the internet.
Which, by this, you mean you. You consider yourself the rest of the internet, I guess. And as it were, someone who is a strategic analyst for business and government agencies, it wouldn't shock me to think that they had a, tedious mind. You should have pretty much expected that.
It wasn't time, and it never will be the time. The ensuing political rant is so insane and prolific it took up almost 6 pages when posted into a Google Doc, and included a map. I dare you to read this thread in full and try to still respect yourself.
Yeah, I don't think reading someone else's thread in full would ever make me not respect myself. If that were the case, this would destroy my self-respect, because I read garbage like this from writers like you all the time.
The content of Garland's self-proclaimed thread isn't really important, as most aren't. They are typically quote-unquote intellectual dribblings from men who love explaining things to me, essentially a subtype of online mansplaining. These are people who want their ideas to take up the absolute most space possible, like manspreading, but of digital space.
What I tell you, this was all based on manspreading. It's all based on the concept that this woman probably has very, very poor relationships with men. That would be my guess. I would guess it starts with her father, who she considers overbearing.
Enter manthreading. Manthreading is when Jeet here, a senior editor at The New Republic, thinks people fucking vegetables warrants 21 points.
Yeah, that's not even that big a deal. 21 points isn't nearly that bad. Although I will admit that his tweet starting, "I want to talk about why Canadian fiction has so many stories about people having sex with animals and vegetables," I wouldn't read that, but I don't care if he wants to write 21 points about it.
Manthreading is when Josh Marshall, editor and publisher of Talking Points Memo, decides to fight back against the alt-right's Nazi Pepe by suggesting that Kermit be a political icon for good, using the hashtag #I'mWithKer. It's so embarrassing, and was worse when he had a Kermit Abbey.
Oh my fucking god. So this is just you mocking a guy at this point. A guy who was doing something that ostensibly I would assume you believe was the right thing to do. But you just disapprove of the way that he's doing it. Interesting. So you're a bit of a cunt.
Or how about venture capitalist Mark Anderson deciding that 4 threads on stagnation theory were not enough and adding a 5th, the stagnation wrap-up?
This is a hit piece, isn't it? This is just you who've decided that there are a handful of these accounts, you don't like these people, and you just want to bitch about it. How did Gizmodo publish this at all? Is this fan-created? Did Gizmodo pay for this? Because that's embarrassing. You think it's embarrassing to randomly tweet a thread? Gizmodo published you. That's embarrassing, girl.
The best thing about manthreading is how unnecessary it is. There are other tools, blogs you can use if you have more than a few tweets worth of content to spew out onto the internet.
Which is what you're doing right here. You're fine with this, even though this is arguably less functional than what they did. I wonder why. Is it this following portion? I'd bet.
Twitter co-found...
Oh, is that supposed to be co-founder? Yeah.
Twitter co-found, which is supposed to be co-founder, Ev Williams, fucking built Medium for this exact reason. Twitter, but longer. What you doing, manthreaders?
Oh, isn't that cute? You use internal internet speak. Lovely. This is professional, I guess, now.
The thing about manthreaders, though, is they want their little nuggets to spread as widely as possible. It's not enough to write a great blog and get a compliment on it. They want constant kudos for each point, a stream of high fives on their killer owns.
Now I get it. Yeah, it is that. It's jealousy. You're mad that their tweets probably get more views than your blog. That would be my guess.
I think they also like the idea that tweets seem easy and casual, as if they're quickly firing off pearls of wisdom, not at all rehearsed. But we all know y'all have a Word doc at the ready, honey.
So you're just deciding that that's reality then. For all you know, these guys are actually smart enough to do that. This drips with jealousy and insecurity. I hope you know that, dear.
So, in conclusion, here's my fucking thread. Elena Hope Livingston. If your 29-point tweet storm wasn't good enough for your blog, please don't put it here.
Just don't follow those people. You attempting to police a platform is laughable. Just so you know. I will be leaving a link to this article in the description, and I would advise you all go read the comments. They vary from one insane to the other. It's quite amusing to watch, and it's almost impossible to tell who of the 1,600 comments is a troll and who is for real, because there are some extremely insane people that apparently read Gizmodo. I sincerely advise that you go check that out. Archive of it or something, some way in which you know that you're not going to give Gizmodo any money. Do that. And with that, we're going to wrap our reading of Gizmodo's brilliant article by Alana Hope Levinson. I sincerely wish you the best, and I hope that you heal, girl, because your insecurity and petty jealousy is so transparent in this article. It stopped being funny for me, and I started feeling pity about the halfway point. Thanks for being here as usual, everyone. Look forward to my stream tomorrow. Should be a good time. I'm gonna have a few of my Patreons on if they'll be so kind as to arrive. And I promise, as soon as my schedule gets locked down, that the game streams will commence. I already have a schedule in mind. It will be Monday through Thursday, from around 11 to 2 or 3. More explainer on that tomorrow. Thanks for being here, everyone. As usual, stay safe, good luck, and goodbye.